Hello, thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen, and this is No More Want. Fire next time. You see my title about it's about it says Arabs, but it's really about the immigrants coming into our neighborhoods. And many people think that it's just so they can make money. They like coming making money off of us. But that's not the case. The case is they're steered into our communities by lending companies. There's a new thing now where they don't have to do the Black Wall Street rob and loot like they did with Rosewood, Black Wall Street, and the other 60 black towns that they destroyed. They now destroy economic wealth by sending immigrants in to siphon the money out of our community, where it just goes into their hands and out of our community instead of turning around into different hands. And because I have some videos, and I showed you one the other day where the lady was talking about how when she goes to get a loan, when Asians go to get a loan, not just Asians, but all of the immigrants and people of color, when they go to get a loan, they are, let me stop this feedback. When they go to get a loan, they're told the only way that they can get the loan is that where they can't, they say that they can't open it in the white community because white people are not going to support you because they don't want you making money off them. You're going to have to open up in the black area. But yet they say this, at the same time, the black people can't get the loans. So it's also so it shows that they know that they're complicit, but they don't care. I showed you in this video before about this Asian. I'm going to start off with her, and it proves exactly what I'm talking about. And I've seen many others speak on this.
Yes, this is really important. Asian Americans were redlined from opening businesses in white neighborhoods because white people didn't want Asian Americans operating in their neighborhoods and didn't want Asian Americans profiting off of white people. But because the positionality of Asian Americans is weaponized to oppress black people, Asian Americans were being given loans to open businesses in black communities, even though black people were not able to receive loans to open businesses in their own communities. And as I've said before, as a result of this, black wealth is essentially paid out twice when it goes to Asian American businesses. Once when the individual pays for the goods or services, and then again when the Asian American business owner removes the profit from the community. Because usually people open businesses in their own communities, and this is mutually beneficial, where the business owner is making a livelihood off of providing goods and services to their community.
So you see, they know that they're being used to harm us, but they didn't mind as long as they can make some money. Let me take this off. As long as they can make some money, they didn't care about being used against us. They're not the only ones, the Arabs, the Indians, because the Indians are coming in now. So you see, black people problems economically is not because of our inefficiency or that we're just not up to the task. We were up to the task when we were left alone and built all those economic powerhouse communities. Black Wall Street in Tulsa wasn't the only one, there was many. But they don't want to see black people prosper because there's something about us that they fear us. They think anytime we gain, that's a loss for them. That's why when a black person get a job, they feel like a good job. They took my job, get a position at a Ivy League school. This black person took my spot. And what makes it their spot? Because they're white. They didn't say the Asian took my spot or any other the people of color took my spot. The Arabs, the same thing with them. They come into our neighborhood not because These people don't like us. It's because it's the same thing. That's how they are able to get the loans because they know white people are not going to allow them to do to them what we allow. And then they come up in our neighborhood and disrespect us, and you all keep on running there. So how can someone stop it if you're going to keep patronizing them no matter what they do? Then you can see them attack a black person, the rest of you stand there and look, and still run up to the counter, buy your stuff, and keep coming there. When they attack a black person, they need to be put out of business. It's not about what the black person did, it's about our race. And that's bigger than a misbehaving black person, even if they misbehave. At least don't just stand there and watch. Because they wouldn't stand and watch you attack one of theirs. And they wouldn't go into a white neighborhood and attack those people. Because the few who do have a business in white areas, have you been to them? They're just as meek and humble and kind as they can be. Those Asians were arrogant with us, those Arabs, those East Indians, whatever they are. Watch how kind and nice they are up in those areas. But they're like a bulldog up in our area because we allow them to be. We allow everyone to mess over us all around the world. People of African descent, black people, are the only ones all around the world. Look, the majority rule, except with our people. We're the only ones who will let a minority come in and rule us. No one else will allow that but us. And they know it. We've been wimps around the world. We allow people to come in and just do anything to us. How in the world in South Africa, a minority was ruling the majority? And they still are economically. They, cut this down. They still control most of the wealth, own most of the land. But see, black people allow this stuff. Like we're afraid of everybody but our own. We respect everyone but our own. You know how I said that black people are some of the most compassionate people on earth? And as a people, we're very compassionate, have helped everyone, but we're not compassionate with each other, just with other people. So we're complicit also, because we have a lot of that white supremacist ideology in us. All of us do because we've been raised in the same system the white people was raised under. I mean, when I was coming up, the only time you really saw white people was you had to go to them for some goods and services or businesses. They were always in a superior position. And that plays on your mind. Sometimes I have to check myself now, and I know better. Because we were raised under that white supremacist system. And these immigrants come in here, and I'm gonna show you the next video. Uh, I want to show you some. You know, the Trump. He's going after the Somalians now because he's angry with this congresswoman. I think it's Ileana. No, last name is Omar. He's angry with her, and yet they're attacking us. These Somalians. They're not going after those people, and we have nothing to do with that. But that's what all the immigrants do. The Mexicans. When I worked around some of them out in Los Angeles, and I lived in Los Angeles, you know what they would do? They would stand all day talking about how the white man disrespect them, but they saved all of their hate for black people. And the other immigrants do the same thing. They do not talk against white people. They only talk against black Americans. I'm not Somali, I'm not black, I'm Somali. when black people talk about black, we're talking about, unified. We know you Somalian, but we know so we could all work together. But you don't want to work with us. You worked with the system against us. I let me my headset. I'm gonna play another video. Show you what I'm talking
about. Go like it did, but it did. Okay. So let's just have a real talk. Okay. I'm gonna add the articles in the link because they.
Why did I see a tweet today talking about the fact that Trump is targeting Somali people in Minnesota is going to put Black Americans at risk? I don't think so. I think that Black Americans and Somali people don't look anything alike, first of all. Second of all, they don't even consider themselves black.
We are Somalis, not black. There, I said it.
Somalis are not black. Let me explain why. Looking at me right now, chat, am I black? I'm literally brown. I'm literally brown, bro. Think about it as well. Somalis are Arabs. We're in the Arab leagues. We speak the Arab language. We eat the Arab food. Bro, think about it like this, bro. If a whole community doesn't regard themselves as black, we can't be black, bro.
Somalis are not black. Now, before you disagree with me, I just want to say, listen, right? There's no such thing as the term black. The term black only came about in colonization. I don't have to accept that, Sahib. That's why the other day when I was in a place, someone said to me, "Are you black?" I said, "I'm not black, Sahib. I don't accept that term."
Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black.
You think that a person, any person, can't tell the difference between a Black American and a Somali person? I don't think so. I think that you can tell the difference between a Somali person.
So you see, those people don't want no parts of us, and we know they're not black. See, what happens is we know that other people go by nationality and ethnic groups. We don't have that, so we have to go by race because ours was stripped from us. So we have to go by race, and we say we don't care what you are. What we were doing was trying to show solidarity with you, and we all work together. But you showed us you don't want to do that. And people that go into that child and talking about, "Oh, you my skin look black." You know what the hell folks talking about when they say that. And so you don't want to be a part of us. Good, fine. But when they send you up out of here, don't come running to us. Because many of them have, the Hispanics, everyone. Why come black people not helping us? And this one woman made a video talking about when George Floyd, we was out there, we were protesting. And so one protest, so what? As black people weren't out there, you was out there with white people. Because black people don't realize black people did very little protesting during Black Lives Matter. It was mostly other people. So you didn't do anything special. You know what? We didn't ask anyone to come like everyone's doing. They came on their own. We didn't beg anyone. You came in fine, yep, fine. But we don't know you anything because you got out there in March. But when it came to our freedom, you couldn't have came here if it wasn't for us. The Bill of Rights, the Civil Rights Bill allowed a lot of the immigrants to come in. The Asians was barred from immigrating here. Black people, it's because of black people they're able to immigrate here. And the reason was to drain our wealth. We see what it is now. Instead of burning us out and destroying our wealth, they just make sure it don't even come to us. So we have a lot of money. It's just that it's not, we don't generate among us. It goes from our hands to the Asian hand, maybe in their community for a while, and back to the white man. We don't see it. But you don't think anything about it. You got to go get your rights. You got to go get your hair. You got to go get your nails done. They pack those rights houses, make millionaires out of those people. blocking traffic down the street there at that Rice house. Them people can't stand you. And all that money you taking in there is coming. It's not going to help our community one bit. It's going to leave right out when they go home. The black community is the only community that go bankrupt every evening because all the money leaves. People, like the woman said, people normally open business in their own community because they have it so it can benefit their community. But black people, it's not that we don't want to open business, we can't get the money. And everybody can't save the money up. Then you have to start coming to black businesses because you've gotten so used to going to these other people, you won't hardly go to the black people. The goods don't be any better, probably maybe less better. I know black people have a customer service problem, but so do they. They don't all treat you good, especially those Indians. But you keep going to their businesses. But the black person gotta be the most gracious host you've ever seen. I'm not going there no more. They got a bad attitude. Who has a worse attitude than those Asians? But you just can't leave that rice alone. And that rice they serve you, and you know you don't see them eating it. They don't eat that greasy stuff. They don't eat that. And they eat brown rice over in China. They don't eat that white rice you see bleached out rice that you see us eating. Well, I say y'all because I don't need it. I refuse to go in those rice houses. I refuse to. All that fish and chicken, I refuse to go in there. I want black people cooking my food. That's the only place I go where black people cook my and handle my food. I don't want these other people handling my food. You all can do whatever you want to, just like I'm doing what I want to. See, we're being robbed and we don't care. Because so many of our people got the attitude, I don't care what they say. I'm going to eat me some of that right. We don't want to make any sacrifice. You can make your own rice. I mean, sometimes they have what black people make the Chinese food, and it's even better. I refuse to go to those rice houses. Sometimes you have to go with service stations and all that. Some places you can't help because we don't have an alternative. I'm saying if you can help it, stay out of those people's place. And usually I know in many black areas like around here, you can't help it. I have some Somalians who has a store across the street. I go there and to get gas around here, I have to go to the Arab station. Some places you just can't help it. Can't help it. You have to go. But some places you don't. If I want some Chinese food, I buy the stuff and cook it myself before I run up in there. Really, I don't care for it. To be honest with you. Now, see, where's that other one with you? Then the Somalians. That woman was talking about what Trump was doing. But she was blaming black people. What we got to do with it? What's that one with the one? Let me find that one. I have to find them. It's small. I got to find out see if I'm playing the right one. It's hard for me to wear my glasses here because I get such a glare back. Let me see, is this the one?
Not only that, all of our stores that we used to have, now here in Wilmington, which I have been arguing about, starting trouble, and I'm going to start more trouble about it. The Chinese, the Arabs, everybody in all of these
in our black neighborhoods, and there's not many black stores. It's like they pushed us out to bring them in, and
But
then
they
they
got
put us
order in those
down, but we're the
communities,
ones
though.
who is supporting their stores.
But you got to be honest. They have order in
Say it
those
again, Mark.
communities. You got to be honest. There's order in those
Say it
communities.
again.
There's order in those communities. So the Arabs, they have order. You know, they follow the Deen of Islam. They know who the boss is. They can follow the man. They're very family oriented. The Chinese,
Right?
that Chinese school every Saturday, and they respect their culture. Hierarchy is very strong. Confucius had basic relationships, father over mother, king over subject, older sibling over younger sibling, and that's why they're effective. Whereas the Black Americans, they lack ideology. They don't have a shared religion. Some are Muslim, some are Christian, some are spiritual, some are atheists. Some believe in chakras and crystals. And that's precisely why you have challenges with people getting on the same page, because they don't want to yield to leadership.
No, I don't know if we're on the same page as what I'm trying to say. Whatever they do in their personal life is what they do. I'm talking about how they done pushed us out of our own communities, put them in our communities, and we so blinded by a facade that we don't see that we're losing. Then they talk dirty and laughing at us, okay, and we're the ones who is supporting them. We need to bring us back in our communities. That's another reason why I was saying that we needed this school, because we used to have frozen cups. We used to sell frozen cups out of our house. We used to have soul food restaurants. We used to have boongaboos, you know what I'm saying? The little black community stores.
But
We don't have
everything
that no
used to
more.
be,
So
everything that
I
used to be
mean,
will never
I'm
again
not
be.
putting the Arabs now. I'm not putting the Chinese people down. I'm just saying we need to bring our communities back to us.
Well, I agree with
But
you
we
that
keep
the community has to be
have
brought
a
back.
whole black
But
city council. You know that we need to be able. I think we're getting so I don't know. We're just getting lazy or something, that we're not getting up no more. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's saying anything,
no,
and that's why they hate.
it's about following the right leader and the right belief system. And the problem is too many people want to be the chief, and also all of the things that you mentioned that were in the past are never coming back. So instead of trying to bring back some of the things that used to happen in the past, the question is, what do those things look like in the future? What is the future?
You know what? That guy didn't have a clue. He was talking about something altogether different than what she was talking about. Leadership and all that in the community has nothing to do with those people having businesses up in here. See, we blame ourselves for problems that other folks brought to us. This is not our fault. Those people are given loans to come up in here that black people can't get. Like I said before, they don't have to bomb our businesses and destroy what we have anymore. They brought immigrants here. They give them loans to come into our area. Open up shop, but black people can't get those loans, so that they can siphon the money out of our community. We haven't gotten lazy. But there are some other areas, much more affluent areas, where many black people have businesses. But mostly down in the hood areas, you're going to see Arabs and Asians and all of them with businesses. Because they're sent to take that money out. It has nothing to do with black people being lazy or our fault. See, we blame ourselves for a lot of things that the system has imposed on us. We always think it's our fault. You know why? We've been trained to look down on us just as everyone else has. Those people have been weaponized against us, and they hate us. Those Somalians, you should hear. Well, I'm sure you don't hear some of the stuff they say. Now, I know some really good Somalians across the street, but I can't sort through everybody. So you have to go by the consensus of the majority. And the consistency of the majority is all around the world. We're hated. Even by people who are oppressed themselves. I'm going to get on the Palestinians and the Jews and a little later in this. About how the black people, there's 11,000 black people in Palestine. And the Palestinians was oppressing them while Israel was oppressing them. No matter how bad off they are, they always find a reason. They always still have time to still oppress us. Let me show that. Where's that other one? And that woman.
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation.
In every black community, you have a Pakistani or an Indian-owned convenience store attached to the gas station. True. You got an Arab-owned, you buy, we fry, fish, steak, frog legs, something spot. You have a Vietnamese-owned nail tech spot. You have a Korean-owned beauty supply house. You have a Jewish or Caucasian-owned payday loan spot.
True.
Question: does any of them live where they get money? So you telling me they come and suck the economic blood from our community, take the wealth and go out there with white people or themselves and live somewhere else and make that community better, but get all of our money and do nothing to make ours better? You never even have seen none of the beauty supply houses, none of these foreign-owned entities support even the Pop Warner Football League or the basketball team or the Little League Baseball. You never even seen their names on the jerseys before. So they do nothing for us. So we live in a colony right now, brother, and not a community. See, a colony is whenever you have a environment where the people that own the property and the businesses don't live in the environment.
And extract everything out of it.
But a community is when the people that live in the environment own the property and the business and reinvest in that area because they are benefiting from it and they want to increase the value of it. We're letting them get all of our stuff, all of our wealth, and they go in and add value to somewhere else. So we can't become a neighborhood again without keeping a dollar among ourselves. We got it. We got the money. We just have to be wise in distributing it. And we should be willing to pay a little bit more and drive a little bit farther to support our brothers and our sisters.
You know what they're doing? They're still blaming us. What you're seeing is the effect of a systematic plot to siphon wealth from our community. And we love to see about we this, we that. We're not the ones doing that. And see, you know what our problem is? We try to fix our problems by their rules, through their system, and it's not going to work. All the stuff that they're saying, it's not going to work. If we got to do like they do in other places, have people outside selling fruit and leave these stores alone and just drive them out of business. And we got to get back to selling on the streets like they used to. We may have to do that. And we're not going to solve this trying to go through their system. Because their system is designed against us. They did this on purpose. The people telling you. They tell them when they get the loans that they have to open up in a black area because white people do not want you making money off of them. So you have to open in a black area. They don't want to come here. They come because they have to. White people will allow 1 or 2 to come, but that's about it. And they're just as meek and humble around those white people because they know white people don't like them. and looking for a reason. They come around us and act like a pit bull because they know we're going to take it and keep coming, spending our money. We are not going to solve our problems through the system, that same system. We need to do this. How long you been hearing what he was saying? How long you been hearing that? They're talking about the cars. They're talking about they're not looking at the cars. They're looking at the problem that the cars made. The cars it was by design. But many of us still haven't seen that. And you got to sacrifice, maybe buy from some street corner vendors. We may need to start that back. See, they hard, give them some licenses, and I'm not talking about no high prices either. That's the only way we're gonna have to think of it. We can't go through the system. We're gonna have to create our own system. There's other places they sell fruit on the streets. They sell buy from the vendors, street vendors, and people sold around by their houses, set up businesses in front of their house. We may have to start doing that. Some of these black farmers got meat. Buy it from them. Get them. We need to get this together because we're not going to get it together the way they're talking. We'll be right here another 50 years still talking that same stuff. It don't work. Trying to go through that system don't work. Because it's designed to keep you down. We're going to have to do it our way. Like those people in Africa sell out like that, we may have to start doing that. Run those people out of business. And eventually out of those gas stations. You got black women who know how to do nails. You got black people with salons where you can buy hair. You got one right there on 76th and State, Marion. She has a hair shop, has a beauty supply store where they got their market. Those Arabs got their market. She has a beauty supply store in that same building where a parking shop used to be. Go to her. Every black woman in town should be going to her shop. Leave these people alone. They're part of the system designed to oppress us. And many of us know it and don't care as long as we get what we want. I don't care what they say. They got some good rice up in there. I like that from St. Paul. You let your selfish want take precedent over benefiting as a people. I told you about I'm going to tell you again about, there was an Asian man in a beauty supply store. Hit a black woman in the mouth. The black men boycotted his store. So what they did, they had a sale, 50% off on everything. Those black women stormed to that place. They're not thinking about no boycott. They ripped their hair, nails, and all that meant more to them than their respect. But as I said before, what should have been done to that Asian is the same thing should have been done you would do to a black man. If there was a black man shop, he'd have got his butt whooped and his store tore up and you'd have ran him out of business. With those people you want to boycott and be so strategic, should have done the same thing to him. And see, so many of them, they jump on them women and the women keep running to us, so people just have to leave it alone. You just get what you get. You stand there, some big old 250-pound one black woman, big as she can be, stand there and just stand there and let her. A 90-pound Asian woman whoop her butt with a daughter standing there watching. You know, if there was a black woman, they'd have been all over that woman. That same woman who would fight 2 or 3 black women together would stand there and let a 90 600-pound Asian woman beat her butt. That ain't right. She'll find you. Asian man attack me. He gonna find out it ain't right. Cause he gonna be the one saying that ain't right. I'm gonna put something on him. That's what that woman should have done. We respect everybody but us. All that compassion we talk about, we got compassion for everybody around the world as a people. We help everybody except us. We don't show that compassion and kindness to each other as a people. We're the only people who will help others before we help our own. We're the only people who dislike our own and like others. Black people like white folks. Some even love them. You don't get angry because of stuff they're doing. But when they're not doing nothing to us, we boast on them, rather be around them. If a white man came into a room of black women and he liked black women, he can leave out of there with anyone he wants. When a black man walk in the room, she gonna jerk her head around, look at her phone, won't even look at him. Because every white man I know, friend I got, who talk to black women, I'm not talking about just going with them, just talk with black women. So they always tell him about how much they hate black men. And you show it in your actions. And you black men, the reason I'm saying it that way because I'm a man. I'm talking from a male point of view. And I have noticed that black men do stick with black women more than you all would with us. It's just that they don't like y'all like that. If they actually like y'all like that, a black man wouldn't be able to get one of you all. But the thing is, black men really stick with you, even though most of you fat and mean and arrogant, masculine, don't know how to talk to anybody. They still stick with mostly with black women. But we got to start treating each other better. Because I'm not going to stick with somebody who's not going to treat me right. If I got to move on, I'll move. I'll tell you about me, I'll move on. I'm not going to just mess with black women just because they black and they mistreating me. I come home, hey, baby, how you doing? One fuss and argue. No, that's not going to happen with me. Because I've dealt with that before. We can't just sit and talk about these other people. If you notice, I talk about these other people. I bring it back home to us too. Oh, you're talking about women. I'm a man. You got enough women bringing the woman's perspective. So I'm bringing the male's perspective. These people, they hate us, but they know that the only place they can come and make money is in our neighborhood. So that's why they come. And I'm gonna tell you, they persecute black people. And see these people, you see all these different people of other races who talk against black people. They get persecuted in their own country, but they still hate us. Just like Palestinians hate the black Palestinians. There are black Palestinians, you know. There's black Jews, black people over in Israel. Really, all Israel is black. Those are just imposters over there. Since we in Israel went to being all white. Abraham came from around the Baghdad area. He was born there. King Solomon was Ethiopian. Why? How is Israel all white now? It says that there would be imposters in the land who say they are Jews, but they are not. They are imposters of the synagogue of Satan. And that's what you see over there now. Oh, they're gonna be calling me anti-Semitic. I don't have to answer to anyone. I don't care who don't like it. I'm talking some facts. But I know what I'm talking about. If you angry with the facts. If they sound anti-Semitic, it's because the facts are anti-Semitic. But look, I'm gonna play you this other thing. I'm gonna get back to the Jews stuff later. I'm gonna play. Listen to these Somalians. They're talking against us. None of them talked against Trump and what he's doing. They're putting us in that, and we don't have anything to do with it. We embrace everyone who came over here. They didn't want to be bothered with it. Every black person I know, but they don't want to be calling them black. But every person I know who was from another land, even here in this hemisphere, down in South America and Central America, they don't want to be bothered with us. And we shouldn't want to be bothered with them. We reach out to them. They want to deal with their own, the people of their own ethnic group. So they can't relate to us. But when ICE comes, don't relate to us then. When we get down there in Alligator Alcatraz, don't try to relate to us then. Too late. Listen to this.
Fly. The injera bread that you have now, you have
So
to.
you
Well, no,
admit
because you're talking about stealing from the white man. Y'all have to steal from the Red Cross trucks to drop off the flour and the grain now. So you can't say we're talking about us taking food from the white man and you get food from the white man now over in East Africa. They drop off they drop off plane loads of grain and wheat and food to you now. So that's where you get right there.
that's like apples to oranges.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You have to get food from the white man now. Sally Struthers, you have to get Sally Struthers to get you food now. Don't talk about slave food. And Sally Struthers over there have to campaign to get y'all 30 cents a day. And you're talking about begging a white person for food. You are the epitome of begging white people for food. What are you talking about? You really
My
want to go there
families
with
are
me?
not fed by white
Do you really want to go there with me? All right.
Yes, because
Let's
I
go
don't
there.
live on handouts by white people. But
Yes, you do.
what I
Yes, you
wanted to
do.
say is,
Yes, you do. Your culture do. East Africa, yes, you do. You're known for that.
what I wanted to say is,
You're literally known for that. That's what you're. When you think of East Africa, you think of a
bro,
dusty. You think of somebody with their stomach out, with their hand out, with Sally Struthers in front of them, saying, "Look at this ashy man. He hasn't eaten in 4 years." That's what you think when you think of East Africa. I'm not even being facetious, sir. Do you really want to go there tonight?
no. What I wanted to
Are we
say
going?
Well, East Africa isn't like that. He was letting them know, you want to clown us, we're going to clown you. Ethiopia is nice. Somalia is a nice place. So see, they show you the worst of Africa, just like they show everyone the worst of us. But see, he had to come back at him like that. If a person come at you like that, you got to clap back at them. If they come at me, I'll clap back at them like that. I'm talking about we got to get our food from the white man. We buy our food from the store. No matter who the store is, and for anyone to talk about what the white man's doing to us, the way they have exploited Africa and still is, at least what happened, they came into your land and took your stuff. You even let them come and take us. See, we're not in a land that was our ancestral homeland. You all let them come into your ancestral homeland, take your land, your resources, and your people. That's why we're here. You let them take us. And now one never did come looking for us. We better go over there and get our people back. Now you said to hell with us. Because you act like that now. I tell you right now, ever try to clown us about what the white man is doing. At least we fight back. You did. Yeah, we do at least fight back. Watch this one. Watch how they clown us about. Let's see, which one is it? About our fathers. What is that at? Watch this. I want you to hear this. These are the people Trump talking about deporting. I'd hate to see him do it. I know some Somalians, they're good people, but You know, it's saying that they stole over $1 billion in some money. That's Trump saying that. Now, I don't know if they did. I don't believe anything he says. I have to see some proof. But listen to this.
Most of the people that we meet, especially African Americans, they don't even know their fathers. They don't even know their fathers. It was all of them, most of them were the product of one night stand. One night stand. They will tell you, I don't know my father. Well, who named you? Whose name are you carrying? Well, my mother chose his name for me. I don't know. Is that what we want for our ummah? No. كلهم أو معظمهم أبناء الزنا. أبناء الزنا. Why? Because man, he has to give up the seed. And because the marriage will limit them, they will go from one to another to a third.
Now, how many people you know who just don't know who their father is, even if their father don't live with them? How many you know who just don't know who their father is? See what he said? That sounds like some white racist would say, don't it? Yeah, people always come to us tomorrow, help them. Oh, we was out there watching George Floyd. Okay, we want to do that good. But see, what we look at is who helped us when we was fighting for our basic civil rights. When we were still under Jim Crow. That was Martin Luther King. So everybody said Martin Luther King fought for integration. He didn't. There was other people doing that. Martin Luther King was fighting to get us from under Jim Crow. Remember, he used to always talk about freedom. That's why he was talking about freedom, because we were still under Jim Crow, which is a semi-form of slavery. So that's what he mostly fought for. But see, what was all these people at? He fought for the right to vote. When he was getting bitten on the butt by dogs, water hose sprayed on him. Where were they at? On the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma. You saw people of other races crossing the bridge after the National Guards came in and escorted them across. John Lewis said he almost died on that bridge. He got unalived on that bridge. He was beaten so bad. Then President Lyndon Johnson sent the National Guard there the second march to walk across. That's when you saw the rabbi and the Catholic priests and some of those people out there. But they went out there to get their butt whooped. Yeah, anybody can march. Police brutality, that can happen to them, which is happening now. But where was you when you was fighting for our basic rights? Your ancestors, your people were laughing at them. Stick the dogs on them, put the hose on them. Because you do it now. Over the lesser things. So don't bother us. If we want to help somebody, we'll help them. We don't need you coming to us. We didn't come to you, anyone else. We did what we were going to do. If you came and helped us, that was fine. If not, we still got the job done. So like even now, we get the job done. They come after us again, we'll deal with it. And we won't beg you. We won't beg you for anything. We'll deal with our problems. If you want to come and help, fine. We would appreciate it. But if not, we'll deal with it on our own like we always have. We never begged and asked anyone to help us for anything. Because we built for this. You all are not. If you out of all the things that in some other videos, But out of all the things that Trump has done to them, talking about deporting them, they didn't put out one video about him. They were all about us. Something we don't have anything to do with. You never. How many of these immigrants you see posting negative videos about Trump? None of them. But they're posting about us, about why don't you all come help us? Because we don't want to. That's why. If we did, we'd be out there. Now, I'm going to get to this about the. This one is about. I think it's about the Palestine. Make sure I get the right.
So, like it did, but it did, okay? So, let's just have a real talk, okay? I'm going to add the articles in the link because they are important for you to understand. So, there is a neighborhood in Gaza, on the Gaza Strip, where 11,000 Afro-Palestinians live. It is called Al Abib. You know what that means? Slave. Yes, that is where black people live, and that is what the Arabics call that neighborhood, slaves, the land of the slaves. I'm going to drop the articles so you can hear from Afro-Palestinians how they're treated in Palestine. It is very similar to how we're treated right here in America, okay? You're going to hear stories of Afro-Palestinians being pulled out of taxi cab and searched because they were black. You're going to hear stories of Afro-Palestinians telling you how when black Palestinian women walk down the street, they call them out their name, okay, by their skin color. Chocolate, cappuccino, hey cappuccino, hey, chocolate, hey black. But the neighborhood, if that doesn't reach you, melanated dominant people, can you imagine 11,000 black Palestinians looking just like you, being humiliated in their home, in their land, in their compound, while the Arabs and Muslims are being oppressed? They still had time to oppress black people there in Gaza. So I do not condone the loss of life on any side. So I can't stand with anyone, okay? What I am standing with is that it's none of my business. But if it was my business, then it would be toward the melanated dominant people that suffer racism on both sides. Did you know that Israel was giving Ethiopian women Depo-Provera shots because they didn't want them coming into Israel and having children? They were sterilizing black women. Afro-Palestinians living in a neighborhood called Al Abib. Slave. Can you imagine little black kids going home saying, oh yeah, you stay in the neighborhood of the slaves? Come on, melanated dominant people. I know we can do better than this. It take 5 minutes of research before you go and run and say we stand with Palestinians or we stand with Israel. I stand with people that do not already hurt people. My people, melanated dominant people. It's amazing to me how we're so easily roped into somebody else's fight. But we don't open up closet doors and start looking at who we run into they fight.
So you see, no matter how much these other people suffer, at the hands of others. No matter how much they're mistreated, they still find a way to hate us. Still find a way to hate us. Black people mistreated all around the world. And when the worst part of it is, those black people around the world who are mistreated in other lands, when they come here, they have the nerve to be arrogant with us. I can guarantee you, if those Palestinians was to leave Palestine and come here, they would identify more with these Palestinians and these service stations and stores than they would with us. Because I've seen some of them working in the gas station. They're the same attitude the white Palestinians had. So you see, it's hard to have pity on them. Yeah, they come here and they follow the same script as the white folks. But if you notice, you never hear them talking about white people. Only about us. The Hispanics, you never hear them talking against white people. Only against us. Why come the black people not helping us instead of worrying about the people who's deporting you? You worry about what black people are doing. Everybody worry about what we're doing. We're not worried about what you're doing. And when we get ready to move and do stuff, we do it ourselves. We don't go around begging other folks. They may come and help, and we appreciate it. But they can't say that we begged them to come. When we get ready to move, we move. We don't have to depend on other people. And that's what you need to do. Especially don't come depending on the people you try to clown and talk against. And then when I show up at your door, tell me where the black people at. We're putting boots on the ground, working, enjoying our families, living life. That's what you need to do. I recommend to black people don't help none of you with anything. You're on your own. Like you said, you're not black. Black people was trying to form a solidarity with you. But you didn't want to do that. You wanted to let us know you don't want nothing to do with us. But keep that same energy up. You can keep that up. Let me show you. I think there was that one from Israel. In Israel, I tell you, they really mistreat black people over there. They really do. Well, everywhere black people get mistreated. We're hated all over the world, but especially African Americans, Black Americans. Black Americans are hated all over the world, even by the Africans who are being mistreated. Isn't that something? Black Americans are hated, and they come over and be arrogant with us when they suffered from white people in their homeland. Those black people you hear about being mistreated in these other nations, they come here and say the hell with us. They don't want anything to do with us. So I would see them down when I lived in Los Angeles. Black Mexicans, and the black Mexicans are mistreated there. They don't have a certain area that they can live in. They can't live all over Mexico. But then they had the nerve to come and be arrogant with black people. I saw them from Belize, all type of places. They didn't want anything to do with us. They went around the people of their ethnicity, even if they were white. And know them people treated them like trash down in Belize. But they still had a hatred for us instead of those white people who mistreated them. Even the white man in this nation. They come here, they get in with them, and don't want anything to do with us. They're being mistreated by the white people, but they save all their hatred for us. Let me play this by the this about the one from Israel. I think that's the one, not Palestine. From Israel.
In every black community, you have a
Not only that, all of our stores that we used to have, now here in
The major problem of Israel is with the young generation of the black community.
The reason why they say that young black Americans is a problem because while we out here seeking knowledge and trying to find ourselves, we find out everything that we need to know about y'all. Their hand and the erasure of our identity and all that different stuff. So, with that being said, there's not going to be a way to stop this wave. They get so upset is because they know that they don't have a place. So they going off of a long history of ancestral abandonment because they never had a place. Like, because they're not of this place and they're not of these lands. They're not of any lands, you know. And so Palestinian, they done helped them out. They done let them in. And now look at what they did to Palestine. Look at what they do everywhere they go.
A new soul, because any soul coming in since 1985, really I would say 1980, is an old soul. They are here to fight, but in a way that you don't even understand. They are here to reawaken you, to help get guidance, and they all must be centered. You cannot leave those souls alone. They did not come here to be left alone. If you leave them alone, they will come into the maturity of the animal body and they will fight and kill. They have done it before, they will do it again. If you guide them, they will not be abused by computers, they master computers. In fact, it kicks in their neuron centers faster. The sounds that you hear on the air in rap, the rap is only the soul that is very angry and it needs to be.
I don't like getting off with all that kind of stuff. I understand what she was saying, that stuff he was talking about. It's not factual. You can't prove it with facts. So that's why it's what tomorrow's the algorithms and all that old stuff. I don't get off into that. It could be true. I don't know. I prefer not to get off into it. What he was talking about. They were sterilizing black women in Israel. I'm still doing it now. Mistreating them over there. They were talking about the problem with Israel. It's a young black American. What we got to do with Israel? How crazy they talk. That's the reason it may seem like I'm off subject, but I'm talking about how all the immigrants have been weaponized against black people. Now they have this in them before they even come here. Young black Americans is a threat to Israel. If you think you're going to come over and do something to us, you better think twice. We don't care nothing about you. These white folks don't care nothing about Israel and the Jews. They just act like it. That's why Hitler did what he did. Because, he got the idea from Jim Crow and what he saw Jews were treated. He thought the people here didn't like Jews. Because at that time, the Jews was hated only second to black people in this country. Right, they didn't always like Jews here. They was hated second only to black people. That's why Hitler think he can do what he wants to. And to show you how you see how people could follow MAGA, all those white people follow those, different people follow MAGA. There's always a third of this nation that's crazy. When they say America, they're not talking about us. During World War II, the United States tried to stay out of the war. The United States was more of an isolationist nation back then. What happened was 1/3 of the white people in this nation wanted to get into World War II on the side of Hitler. They wanted to fight with Germany, so we always got that 1/3 crazy side. But see, they are but the Jews wasn't very well liked. But all of these people, no matter how much they're persecuted, they still got time to try to persecute black people. And I'm going to tell you, did you think those people when they in those other nations, they don't see Somalian, they see black. You can bring that here to black people, tell them not black. You can't tell those white people that. They see black. The Hebrew Israelite is greatly mistreated in Israel. I remember Ariel Sharon said at the time the PLO was bombing themselves, unaliving people in subways, trains, all around Israel. The black people hadn't done anything, but yet he said the looking at the black, having to look at the black faces in Israel is worse than dealing with the PLO, the Palestine Liberation Organization. They were actually bombing people, unaliving Jews, putting on suicide vests. Well, he'd rather have that than to look at some black faces. You know, don't ever think these people are on our side. They're not. And given the opportunity, they will show their true colors. Like I said, they open up these businesses in our neighborhood. They can't stand us. They come because they don't have any other choice. The Arab, these Arabs, well, y'all say Arabs, but the correct pronunciation is Arab. They know they can't open up in Chinatown. The Chinese know that they can't come in the Arabs' neighborhood and open up. So everyone knows the only place they can come is around black people. They come around black people. But they know we're everybody's doormat. We're everyone's whipping boy. We need to start getting back to the old way of doing things, selling our own stuff. We need to set our own little shops. Get these folks. And after a while, those people can open them a store. That's how a lot of stores start. Keep on dealing with things where they are, we're not going to get anywhere. This nation is not designed for us to prosper. It never was. Just that we do it anyway. That's why they're angry. They had a 400-year head start. That's why they can't understand when you're driving a nice car, living in a nice house, doing well. Oh, they got my job. That's the first thing they'll think. Like they were entitled to it because they're white. Now you're Asians, you're Asians, Arabs and all that, you find that your honorary white status is over. You are the new N-word. They're treating you, beating you, tossing you around, throwing you in incarceration with no due process, even though you haven't done a thing. Welcome to the club. We've been there, done that as a people. And you finding out how it is. You Latinos also. One Latino talking about we prosper because we stick together. That video I showed last night, and black people don't. Some of those Latinos who voted, they have other Latinos deported. Excuse me. Cubans hate the Mexicans. Mexicans hate the Venezuelans. Puerto Rico hate all of it. So does Cubans. And you call that togetherness? If that's the type of togetherness you have, keep it. But we don't need your advice. We don't need none of your advice. We can think for ourselves. Now, if we want to come out, protest, we'll come out. If we don't, then we won't. And so far, we haven't. Knock yourselves out. When we were doing it, it was a joke. Oh, why don't they spray the water hoses on? Why don't they spray them on you? And I know we're telling somebody, well, you know, I'm not for the loss of life. I have no friends on the way one way or the other. Nobody care about loss of life on our part. Just like when they mentioned Charlie Kirk. Well, I don't agree with what was done to him. That was horrific. It wasn't horrific to me. And I'll tell you why. Charlie Kirk said some lives has to be lost for the sake of the Second Amendment. He just wasn't. He just didn't figure would be one of those sacrifices. You know what? I don't care. I'm tired of people walking over us, and we trying to be so fair and good, compassionate to everyone, while they treat us any kind of way. I always tell them, when you do have the goodness of your heart, I don't have no more goodness for anyone else. I got for my folk. You all on your own. If they deport you, you just deport it. If they was deporting us, you all wouldn't do it for us. Like when they let those people from El Salvador up in Chicago, them black people let them in that apartment building. That's why ICE ran up in your place. Let that people, gave them people clothes. When they came up here, they didn't have nothing. Send them over there to the Puerto Rican neighborhood. That's their Puerto Rican cousins. But they sure wouldn't have done it for you. They wouldn't have gave you. They said, get your black so and so out of our area. They let their Puerto Rican cousins take care of them. We gotta quit trying to take care of everyone but our own. All these old homeless white people walking around that shelter down the street. You couldn't walk in their neighborhoods like that. All these real routes. The FedEx man couldn't deliver a package. Police jamming him up. Or Karen or somebody. Then the police went to him. To my, what is he doing there? FedEx truck, uniform, package. What do you think he's doing there? But see, when those people call the police on you, the police don't want to do nothing empty-handed. He has to show them people he's on the job. So he'll jam you up anyway just to please them. They do that to please their own. But actually, I'm taking care of business. I'm taking care of it. Even though they know the black person shouldn't even be bothered. Hasn't done a thing. But see, but like I was saying, these immigrants, they're not our friends. They're not our ally. They're not our comrade. Let them go on about the business. They only start talking about being solidarity with us when it's time for them to start getting deported. All I can say is see ya. There's no more water fire next time. I thank you for tuning in. Join me tomorrow night for the Edwardsville East St. Louis Flyers game, which will be live on this channel and also on YouTube and this Facebook channel. I'm going to do East St. Louis and Edwardsville live. And when I do it tomorrow, be sure to hit my Cash App and PayPal. That's it right there. So I can continue to do them. I can't just go and do something for nothing. This is a business I'm doing. Everyone say they want to see the games, but you have to help support me. So tune in tomorrow for the Edwardsville East St. Louis Flyers and Edwardsville Tiger basketball game. All right. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Larry Duncan Allen. There's no more water. Bye. Next time. Thank you. Good night.